They're packaging. Yeah. Oh, here you can back on the. Yeah.
Welcome tonight to Arizona Actors Academy. It's our Friday night readings series. It's our community event where we have snacks and amazing work by playwrights, new works, and amazing work by our actors here. I am so excited to bring you this reading. It's also my first time getting to direct a reading. So lots of to Arizona Actors Academy. We are an acting school. We have classes for beginners to advanced. We have specialty classes, online classes, Meisner, improv, all the fun things. And we also have started doing these community events, which are really amazing because they're bringing together all of our artistry and our passion for what we're doing. It's also great to bring in the community and bring folks into this process. What we do is we have playwrights that we're connected with that are writing new work that we get to read for them live with actors for the very first time oftentimes. So the actors get to explore new words, new playwrights, and they get to explore their instincts, and the playwright gets to hear what that sounds like and what it's like, what those words on the page are like when you bring them to life. And we also get to hear what the community feels, what they get out of it. So it really brings together those three pieces that we all get to root into and explore together. Tonight's reading comes from Lori Savage. It's called The Silent Treatment. She's written 3 other plays and short screenplays. She's won awards and things of that nature. You'll see why shortly. We're very excited to be doing this. This is very brand new, hot off the press. She just finished writing it last week. We've been hard at work reading behind the scenes so that these readings come together with very little prep time. So there's a lot of instinct work, a lot of things that people bring just day of whatever's happening, and they feed off of you and what you see happening. We have one Zoom rehearsal where we basically do a read through, and then we have 1 hour in the space before you all show up. And this is what happens. So thank you for coming in. There won't be an intermission. We'll go straight through. We'll have a 10-minute break and then a talk back where we'll get to ask and talk about the play. Get up anytime that you want. There's a bathroom right there. Make sure you push the door to close it so that we don't have any accidents. And feel free to get snacks throughout. Welcome in, everybody. And we'll go ahead and get started.
Silent Treatment, a play by L.R. Savage. Scene 1. 114 Maple Throne Way, a small, modest suburban home, morning time. 2 sources of natural light warm the cluttered, colorful kitchen, one from the window and one from the small glass panel on the front door. Wallpaper and family photos. Stage left, a dim carpeted den connects to the kitchen, outfitted with a plush couch and a television, glowing blue. Some used dishes litter the coffee table. Lucy enters through the front door.
Hi there. Good morning. Miss Judge, this is Lucy. I'm giving you a call back. Marianne said you're all moved in, so I'd love to have a chat with you about what your needs are, and hopefully we'll be able to work something out. Okay, great. Well, Tag, you're it. I look forward to hearing from you. Yep, right.
Beatrice enters from stage left and crosses through the den. She switches off the television, further darkening stage left, before joining Lucy in the kitchen.
Good morning. Is Edward out? What? Select what? Don't mind me. I'll just get my coffee and pretend I don't exist. Look at that. The crocuses are coming up already. It's gonna be warm today. 65 degrees. How about that? 65 degrees in March. How about that? Glitter on her face. Oh, you speak. Wow, a phenomenon occurs right before my eyes. Yeah, it's great. Probably from your makeup case. How should I know? You're wearing that. Okay, well, come have a look at these crocuses. Did you get the clipping I went through? Not yet. I don't know if I wish you would. Going by the store on my way to work. What do you need? Cereal. O's. Got it.
Get some eggs, but only if there's milk down.
Last time I was there, Mason told me something really disturbing.
I don't know why they let him know.
Some people let him load up his cars.
Well, what did you say?
So I think I don't even know about the locusts.
The bugs?
What else?
Okay, I read the Bible. It could be worse than that.
No, it is. Okay, now everything's covered in cement, from development. They can't get up to the surface anymore. The locusts can't. A lot of them get sealed down there. Do you know what I'm saying?
No idea. It's already a locust year?
Of course not. It was locust year 3 summers ago.
Oh, that's good. Can we talk about something else? What? Something besides graves?
Sure. I heard something about the alarm at the school. Did you hear that? Look, I know you don't want to talk about it, but I think we should. Don't give me the silent treatment again.
Alarm. No, I didn't hear that. And anyway, that's not true.
Well, did you hear it or didn't you?
Yeah, not really, just vapors. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something else.
And we are.
Okay, it still feels like the same kind of thing.
Well, I can't pretend I didn't hear about it.
School has an alarm at all the doors, so
Yeah, sure. But this was a different kind. Okay. Not the door ones, but a silent one. I don't know. Like the kind they have in banks. Look, they said it's a silent alarm and Edward would have known about it. I mean, he probably would have set it off himself. Or the security guard would have. Do you think it's true?
what if it is? Then what? I mean, are you going to tell him something? Are you going to ask him about it?
I don't know.
Won't.
But it's strange, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Can we read it?
Just come on, come to the window. See them coming up out there in the patch of the garden hose. That's a crazy gray, right? Almost electrical. Doesn't seem real.
Yeah. Okay. It's giving me chills. They're very forceful looking. I don't know. They start off with like little missiles, like little nuclear weapons, and get people later. No, okay, can you stop just bringing all these terrible things up?
I showed you the beginnings of some flowers. How you took them all the way to nuclear warfare. Well, that's on your stuff.
Smells again, I'll get swallowed.
We're hardy. There's always more snow.
Not this one first. It'll be a shock.
Is that so hot?
Beatrice touches the coffee maker, then turns it back on.
How long are you planning on doing this for? what you mean. You can't avoid the news, okay? It's everywhere. You're reading the paper right now.
I mean, what's on these?
Okay, I'm not saying it's his fault. But there's something odd about the alarm thing. And he never mentioned that. Did he mention it to you?
I am not talking about it. I mean, Christ, B. He's walking around here like he's a day away from execution. Why would I be talking to him about it? Fact is, I wouldn't, and you shouldn't be.
Okay, well, we'll see what they say in the meeting tonight.
Don't tell Edward you're going to that.
Are you crazy?
Why are you going?
I sort of think we should.
I think it looks strange.
You know what? You should too. You should go. I think it looks like we don't care if we don't. Okay? I mean, maybe not Edward. He shouldn't go. That might be a little too much for him. But think about it, Lucy. I mean, you are one of those people that should be there with questions or outrage or something, wanting a response. You should be one of those people I'm passing every day on my way to work, standing outside at all hours demanding answers. When did Edward go out?
Last night.
Last night.
Calm down. He's staying with Devin. Like, doing video games.
I feel like he's sleeping weird hours. Don't you think?
Of course. He's probably 5 minutes away from a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, but he's not acting nervous at all. He's acting normal.
What do you want me to say?
Forget it. Seems like he's in some kind of shock or something. I think he should talk to someone. Why is the sponge in the bin?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Can you get a new one when you're at the store? I had to clean up some coffee grounds. And there was horse pee on the floor that I didn't notice, so we can't use it anymore.
Sure. What kind?
It's a sponge. Just get something similar.
Okay, we just use paper towels next time.
Oh, I was thinking about something else.
I know. Where is Horace?
Not with everything. Right at the hills. Just brainless little wonder falling out the door.
He's sweet.
Wait. What? I need to get the glitter off of you.
You know what today is?
I know, B. I do. I know.
Should we do something? Do we have a meal together or something?
I don't know when.
Yeah, I guess.
Something's coming on.
I'm sorry, I missed Marion leaving for school.
She was fine. So she was trying to make it, but they couldn't handle. I mean, some of it is not off.
No, but my skin is, so.
Okay, good enough. Will you get some ice cream?
Yeah, I can't get ice cream because like I said, I've got to do shopping before work and I'm going to that meeting after. And the ice cream will melt. Let me go if you want to do something for mom.
The telephone rings.
Hello? Speaking? Oh, yeah, hi. Yeah, thanks for the call back. Uh-huh. Yeah, I can do weekday mornings. Oh, does she? Yeah, that's a sweet place. Is it still Mrs. Donald? Oh, no, I haven't met Miss Allison. Okay, 3 days? Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's nice to go away on weekend trips, sure. Oh, do you? Yeah, that's nice out there with the lake. Well, yes, I'm available Monday and Friday too, but if it isn't regular, I need, yep, right. Right. Well, is your house an option? Okay, well, we could play it by ear. I do, yes, I was going to mention, yeah, Mary Ann. Thank you, it's after my mother. 10. She is, yeah, till 3:15. But I was going to ask because I could pick up Gabriella at 1 o'clock like we talked about and then bring her with me to get Mary Ann if you're all right with her traveling by car. I have a car, yes. But no, yeah, I was gonna say that. We gave ours away when Mary Ann outgrew it. So I would need yours. Okay, well, it's not that hard. I'd be happy to take it in and out for you. Sure, if you prefer that, that's up to you. Yep, if that's easier. Okay, sure, that's fine. 114 Maple Thorn. Yeah, a house, yeah. No, I haven't heard of any package stuff in the neighborhood. Okay, sounds good. I will keep an eye out for it. Sure, today? Yeah, I think I could make it over there, sure. What's your address? Okay. Okay. All right, I got it. Yep, I will see you then. Nice connecting to you too. Bye. Edward. Eddie, I saw you.
Lights fade on 114 Maple Thorn. Scene 2, grocery store. Discounts and promotions paper to the windows. Mason sits on a milk carton outside the entrance, messing with a piece of string. Beatrice exits the store, holding 2 grocery bags.
Hey there, Mace.
Hey,
What are you doing?
wait, what's it look like?
Yeah, it looks like that. Are you anything?
You're funny. You know?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. I'm looking for my keys. There's something in here somewhere. I sometimes wonder how one happened to Brady. What are you waiting for anyway?
Mrs. Dayton. I'm gonna load up the car. She has 2 babies with her.
Have you seen Eddie around?
Yeah.
When?
Just like an hour ago.
Just now?
An hour ago, maybe?
Okay. Was he with anyone?
No one I saw.
Talk to him?
Sure, a little.
Okay, well, can you paint a picture or something?
What do you mean?
Like, stop making me ask you every little thing and just tell me about it.
It was like an hour ago. He walked up the sidewalk, on foot.
Yes.
And he kind of hit me on the arm, but nice, and said, hey, like this. Hey. And I said, hey back, and then he went in the store.
All right, well, how do you think?
Good, I guess. He was friendly.
Then what?
Then he was in there for like 5 or 10 minutes, and he came out with one of those oven delight things. They got those at the check register, the rolls.
Crescent rolls.
Yeah, one of those. And he threw the wrapper in the trash right there. Probably could still see it there.
Okay, then what?
Then he fished the string out of his pocket, and he asked me if I knew how to play Crash Cadle. And I did a long time ago, but I forgot it. So he stuck the oven delight in his mouth, like in his teeth, so it wouldn't fall. And he sort of tried to teach it to me, and I got it once pretty good, but then he patted me on the arm again, and he said he had to go, and then he left the stream.
He went home?
Said he was.
How did the string? Right, then you through. Okay, no, I think it's maybe harder to be the second person. Do you know who started? Okay. So. Maybe, okay, no, this finger. Right, and then take the other one. Pull it apart. Nice, all right. Now the surgeon comes in. All right. It's okay, you know, you'll get good at it. Just keep working on it, all right?
Hard to practice alone.
Go to the meeting?
You going?
I think so. Dr. Jeffers has a root canal at 1, so, but the rest of the afternoon's pretty light. Oh, come with me, maybe.
I should probably stick around here for a bit. Anyway, I think I know everything anyways.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I'd expect you to know everything sitting out there all day long, so.
Ariana Doug walks by, smiles politely, and enters the store.
Who is that?
Seen her once or twice.
Yeah? Have you talked with her?
Not so much. Offered to carry her things once. She's here with a little girl. She was talking to her in Espanol or something. She didn't want help.
Nice.
Be nicer if you want help.
She looks wealthy. I know those jeans she's wearing. I know that brand. It's like $100.
I like your jeans.
They're $20.
Maybe in my pocket.
Yeah, I wish. Hey, who knew you could do that? Anyway, I guess I've got to get going. Or I don't know. I'm gonna try to figure out who that lady is.
Tell Lucy, hey.
Scene 3. Edward enters 114 Maple Thorn Way. He whistles for his dog, Horace. Nothing. He unpeels a banana and glances at the newspaper on the table. Stage left. Lucy enters the den, her hair in a towel, and begins to tidy up the room, unaware of Edward.
Big. Oh my God. Damn you. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You dropped chips all over the floor.
Where's Horace?
What do you mean, where's Horace? He went out with you.
What do you mean? Last night?
Yes, last night.
What the hell? No, he didn't.
Sure did. He went right out next to you.
Are you kidding? I don't have him.
Okay, well, I thought you took him to Deb's.
Jesus, Lucy. I mean, did you even wonder why you haven't seen him? Why would I take him over there? To get his face chewed off by that Satan dog?
I don't know.
Jesus, like what if he got hit or something?
You know, I'm sure that he is fine. You know, like he knows how to survive out there.
Do you even care? Mary Ann's gonna be bawling her eyes out.
I told you not to bring the mongrel home. Like he is your responsibility. I'm not mom. I'm not gonna get stuck caring for all your stinking little animals. I mean, you only pay attention to them for 5 minutes and then you forget about them.
Great, fine. I guess I'll miss work and have to go out looking for him.
What do you mean work? Called you back in?
They said to come in tomorrow.
Okay. That's good. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Regular-
Good.
For the regular day?
Yeah, except Jose will still be out at 1:15.
Okay. Well, that's smart. Ease you in. That's good, right?
Hours.
Okay, yes, but you could, you know, also use the time to, whatever, I mean, you know.
I don't need time to dwell.
Not dwell, no. Of course, I was going to say heal, maybe.
God.
I'm sorry, okay? I don't know what to call it.
Mary in there?
First day back. You know, I read just this little thing about the alarm that got triggered, you know, before everything started.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some people have been asking about that.
So what?
So nothing, I'm just hearing people talk about it, that's all. I guess people are kind of wondering about the timing of it, why it came early and that kind of thing, and I guess if it came so early, why there wasn't time to, well, yeah, I don't know, nothing, nothing. Hey, do you want a pastrami?
Police. Too long.
Yes.
And I guess it's probably starting to seem like they even took longer than people thought.
I guess, yes.
That's what you mean.
I don't mean anything.
I did what you made me promise. Okay, what are you trying to ask me now?
I'm not, let me just get you, I'm sorry, nothing, I'm not trying to ask you anything.
Should we talk about that?
I'll get you a sandwich.
I gotta go check.
Just came from there.
Horace could be there, around there.
Listen, let me just pack you something and then I've got to get out of here too.
Where do you have to be?
I need to get the car cleaned. That's just, nowhere.
Why don't I clean the car, like usual?
Because I need it really clean. Like with one of those industrial vacuums. I've got a new family that I'm gonna go meet.
So,
So nothing. I'm gonna go get the car cleaned.
you're not going to meet?
Of course I'm not. I mean, I don't get rolled up in that ball of yarn.
He's going?
Yes. Yes, I think she said that. You know her, busy bee. She likes to know everything.
Maybe I'll go too.
No, no, yeah, no, don't do that. Go to Devon's and put up some signs for Horace. You have work tomorrow. You need to get your head in the right space. Just. Sure.
What?
I don't know. I just don't know how people are gonna be.
Maybe I should go find out.
We should stop messing around.
Couldn't be worse. Well.
What?
never
What?
mind.
What?
I was gonna say that it couldn't be worse than I imagined it, but that's what I used to think. Like I always thought things we come up with in our minds are worse than anything life's about to deal out, but now I can't say that anymore. Can't say that anymore.
Okay. Okay.
I keep saying this thing to myself. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Like, I think I'm fine, and I'm thinking about something else, and then I hear my own voice. Like, really, like I'm talking out loud to myself, and I'm saying, "Jump out the window, jump out the window," over and over.
Why are you saying that? Is that what you were telling them to do?
Jesus, stop. Whatever. Probably. Yeah. But that's not what I'm saying now. You don't get it. I'm saying it like to myself, but it's like this cold death voice, but it's my voice and it's telling me.
Okay. That's, don't think about that. Let me pack you a sandwich.
Can you just call Beatrice for me?
Why should I call her? For what?
They have copy machines over there.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they probably have a printer for sure. Why?
You're a real detective. For my lost dog? For Horace? I mean, what, you want me to just hanging out there on the Marianne's rug with crayons and construction paper?
Okay, call her up. I don't know.
The phone rings.
Okay. Hello? Yes, it is. He does? What is it regarding? Oh, yes, hello. Uh-huh. Yeah, let me see if he's still here. Yes, you know what? He's right here.
Hello? 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 Oh, yes. Oh, hello, sir. Yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I spoke with him this morning. Tomorrow. Yes, sir. Okay. Well, really, I'm not. I appreciate that, sir. Okay. I think I could do that. Sure. Okay. Thank you. You too.
Do what?
He wants me to come and just drink.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. I mean, that's good, right? Like new protocols and that kind of thing.
Or like, I'd be training the new security officers.
Oh,
Yeah, weird, right?
no, not weird. That's good. That's smart. I mean, you know the job. Okay, listen, just go get yourself together and like take a shower or something. You look like a worm. I'm gonna get the car cleaned and go over to meet this family. And well, maybe this isn't such a bad day, like maybe not. Maybe this day has a lot of opportunity. That's what mom would say.
She wouldn't.
What?
She wouldn't say opportunity. That's a U word.
Oh, you're right. You know mom best. Little baby. What would she say?
Are we even gonna do something?
You and Beatrice. Okay, like what? I mean, between you and me, I feel like, the whole day I've just got this rain cloud over me. What do the two of you want to do? Like light candles?
Sure, or something.
And then what? In 2 weeks, you're gonna come to me asking to do something else for dad?
I don't know. Okay, you're usually the one.
Well, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm not the one today. Fine. How about this? We are doing something. That's what we're doing. Something. We're climbing out of something, some dark mess, and we're both facing the world with an attitude of moving forward there. Okay? What do you think a person ever really wants for their children?
Scene 4. Beatrice exits a commercial office building, carrying a stack of papers. She leans against a window, waiting.
Hey,
Thanks.
yeah, had to use the machine while Dr. Jeffers was wrist deep in someone's mouth.
Oh,
We're cleaning.
don't. Fuck no, okay? Shut up.
We can't avoid it forever. What happened? When did it get so cold?
Yeah,
It was spring this morning.
yeah, I know.
What happened worse?
Lucy said he went out with me yesterday, but I didn't see him.
Yeah, she said that. To me. Go ahead and paper up the town. Someone will spot him.
I'm just worried about the road.
Yeah. Good.
Why are you asking me?
Well, why didn't you sleep at home last night?
I don't know.
Let me see your eyes.
Stop.
Oh, let me see.
Stop.
Come on,
Stop.
come on, see so. Yep, why do you have to hang out with that piece of garbage?
We're just playing video games.
Oh my God, don't mess around, for real.
I'm not.
Yeah, you say so. I'm not dumb, Pinner. I work for a fucking dentist. You think he's not jacked up all the time?
It's bright out. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, well, why don't we stand in the lobby? Oh, yeah, didn't think so. Can't keep a box of O's in the house right now. That's you, isn't it? You get after that sugar.
Thanks for making the sign.
Yeah, you got it. So you talked to Lucy,
Yeah, I stopped home to clean up.
what she said.
She's got a new family.
Oh, good. That's great. That's really great. That takes some pressure off. Did she say who?
I didn't ask.
And how about you? Anything from the district?
They said I could go back tomorrow.
Okay, well, there you go.
They want me to do training again.
Again. When there had to be a first time.
Oh, hilarious. Okay, no, I've got to train the new guys.
Well, look at you, Star. I read they're putting in new cameras.
We always had him.
No working cameras.
Yeah.
Wasn't that always the way?
Don't you have?
I'm freezing. Can you give me your jacket or something?
Don't you have to go back up?
Yeah, sure do. When my break is over.
Edward takes off his jacket and Beatrice slides into it. He finds Edward's fake pen and takes a draw.
Thanks. Yeah, see, I'd say I've got 5 more minutes to chat with my prodigal brother.
Your what, brother?
Oh man, Mom and Dad would be so pissed you stopped going to church.
How about you?
What about me? I never did go. It's from Luke. The prodigal son leaves home and squanders all of his inheritance and then comes back in shame. But his family welcomes him back anyway.
I don't see how this has anything to do with me.
Oh my God, it's an expression. Like you've been disappearing over the devs all the time. Who cares? You're impossible to talk to. Why don't you just see a woman?
Why? What's cooking?
I don't know. Nothing.
I know that. Not like I feel anything.
Me neither. It's always the way, right? When you get sucker punched in the gut and you're trying to pick up sponges. Let's just see how the day goes.
Indeed.
Indeed. You gonna start putting up your signs?
Yeah, as soon as you give me my jacket back,
Then what?
then what? What?
What if Horace doesn't turn up?
Then I guess I'll have to kill myself.
It's not funny, Eddie.
All right, whatever. I guess it's like Lucy said. Okay, I got him from the street. I barely paid attention to him, and now he's back on the street. What did I expect?
Lucy said that to you?
Basically.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Dr. Jeffers is cheating on his wife. No, it's true, it's true. I might be the only person that knows. I saw him twice coming out of his office, adjusting themselves or whatever. It's him and one of the dental hygienists, and I'm not gonna tell you which one.
I'm not asking.
And the cheating isn't the worst thing. You don't know what the worst thing is?
What?
I don't even think she likes him. The hygienist, I mean. Well, his wife probably doesn't like him either, but the hygienist, I don't know. She walks into work every day like she's walking the plank. And as much as I'm trying to act like I don't know anything, I feel like she wants to tell me something. Like she just wants to blurt it out. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Are you going to?
Do you think I should? Well, do you know how to move?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've been thinking, like New York or something.
Why don't you?
Why don't you? I mean, you could come with me. I've been saving, living back home with you guys, and now that Lucy got a new family, I mean, if that was out, she'll be set with Mary Ann.
You're cutting Lucy out of the plot? That is cold.
She's a lifer, you know that. I don't still have my spot at school, but I asked the admissions counselor and she said reapplying is just a formality. I mean, and considering everything we've been through with Mom and Dad, I think they'd still give me the money.
And what would I be doing? Carrying your books?
No, whatever you want. You need to get out of here more than I do.
I made it. See, I told you I'd make it.
What are you doing over here? Did they kick you out of Thriftway?
Eddie said I could put the signs up with them.
Oh, well, that was generous.
Yeah, I mean, Mason and I are gonna help me look for Horace. Maybe he'll come by Deb's with me too, right, Mason?
No. Do not take him over there.
Why not? I know Dev.
Yeah, and he's a mean bastard to you, isn't he? Edward, don't make him go over there. Why would you bring that up?
I'm not making him do anything he doesn't want to do. Okay, you want to come? He just said so.
Yeah, but you're not acting like you. You're acting like, I don't know. Like one of those people that lights a match and just watches it burn all the way down to their finger.
Oh, please. Okay, just give me my coat back.
Have you gone over there before?
I used to in high school.
Okay,
All the
well,
guys did.
high school was a long time ago. Have you been over there since?
She's trying to ask if you've been there since your accident.
That's fucking rude.
Well, that's what you're getting at.
Come on, I'm not a little kid. Why can't I do everything the same like before?
No, you can. Of course you can. You can do whatever you want. How the hell would you say that to him?
Because you're making me all crazy. You're all making me crazy. That's why. Okay. I wish you would just say what you wanted to. Every single person here lately seems to be trying to say a whole lot, but barely opening their mouths. Making all these innuendos. Okay, if I had a dime for every time someone said, "You good?"
That's just manners.
Lucy says you go to the meeting. Nancy Drew.
So,
You got anything you want to ask me before tee off? Well, I bet you do. Okay, maybe I'll just come down there and everyone can ask me.
you better not. No.
I think I should. I'm not gonna come moseying on, dragging my cross behind me and just watch you jackals nail me to it.
No, so I guess you do remember some of the Bible.
Yeah, I remember it. Maze does too. Don't you, Maze?
Yeah, I read it.
We remember the parts that says God loves us and he shows us by kicking the shit out of us every day. And that's the craziest shit I ever read. Let's go put the signs up.
Bye, B. Tell Dr. Duffer say.
Eddie, come get your jacket.
C5, the judge residence, faith in natural light, sparring mid-century modern decor, everything clean, rounded. Ariana kneels on a Bowflex rug, picking up toys and placing them in an attractive woven basket. Doorbell sounds.
Bastante.
Ariana moves the blankets to the side and takes the last look around the room. She hurries to the door, scooping up the spare toy as she goes and stuffs it in the back pocket.
Coming.
Hello, come in, come in. I parked in a circle, is that okay? Will I be blocking anyone?
It's perfect. It's perfect. Reggie's at work and I'm in the garage.
Beautiful home.
Oh, it's a mess. We're still getting settled.
You look more organized than me and I've lived in my home my whole life. My childhood home.
Oh, well, I see. That makes sense then. Organizing your childhood home is much easier than organizing your own subconscious.
That's funny.
Thank you. You're lucky. I wish I lived with my parents. It's very important for children to have a multi-generational home.
Yeah, that's true.
Your daughter's name is Marianne, right?
Yeah, Marianne.
So that's your mother's name too. I remember you said that she was named after your mother.
That's right, yes.
See? I do listen. Reggie always says, Adriana, you don't listen. He asked me, he doesn't listen. This technology is leading him around by his nose.
Guess that's everyone.
That's why I use it and then I put it away. Can I bring you a drink? Do you like hibiscus?
I don't know.
How about pineapple juice? Still, you'll love it. That's one thing I really can't tolerate, all this dependency on technology. And Reggie should know better of all people with his profession. Everyone is walking around not looking at anything else. I feel like saying to them, who is going to survive if everything stopped working? You know what I mean? You know, if the grid or breaks down or whatever they call it, what will anyone do? Sometimes I see these teenagers and I just want to shake them. I'm not worried about me. I'll survive just fine. I know how to skin a rabbit, catch rainwater, make fire. I can sew. I can plant any plant and watch it grow.
Ariana returns with a tray containing a snack and 2 glasses of water, 1 red hibiscus and 1 yellow pineapple.
Green thumb. It's true. You can give me any little pathetic plant you've tried to kill and I'll bring it to life. I made these this morning. Try that. I never make it too sweet.
So Gabriella doesn't use any screens?
She's not even 1. What could she need a screen for? She can look at the twinkles in the window. Oh, no. So this is very important for me, for Gabby. Even aside from the socio-emotional, we have to think about developmental and cardio-metabolic concerns. I mean, and Reggie watches family videos with her on his phone, but even that I don't really like. I prefer if she has no screens, not playing with your phone, your tablet, nothing like that. Will that be okay with you? What's on this? Is that like my noodles? Ah, so you know. Very good, yes. But this isn't sweet. You take the fruit when it's still green. Try one. Salty. Too much salt?
No, good, salty. I just mean it's not sweet.
Yes, exactly. Savory. Eat more. So the screen, that's not an issue, right?
Yes, that's fine.
Perfect. I just need to make sure we can align.
Is your daughter here? Will I meet her?
Hopefully she wakes up. She went down for a nap very late in the day.
Oh, yeah. Wait,
Don't worry. Don't worry. She loves everybody.
still, it would be best.
She's going to love you. I know. I know. Selfishly, I'm a little grateful she's still sleeping. It's nice to just talk to another adult. So I ordered the car seat, same day delivery. It should come today. Will you be home?
What time?
It says guaranteed before 10.
Oh, okay.
But of course, you can't be expected to wait around all day until
Yeah.
10 at night.
Yeah, I'll be in and out. It should be fine.
Perfect. Perfect. The neighborhood is safe, you said?
Yes, I mean, it's not like.
I'm sure it's perfect.
There's a little spot where they usually tuck packages and no one sees them there. So.
I've read these thieves follow the trucks around. That's how it is now.
Yeah, we haven't had any issues, fortunately.
I'm sorry. I'm missing. It's just been very bad timing moving here right now.
Yeah, sure.
Buy a house, we move, and you know.
Yes, I can imagine. Where did you all move from?
Connecticut. I'm in school in Connecticut, but now Reggie got this post, so
What does your husband do?
neurological research.
Oh, okay. So he works at the big place off the interstate.
Exactly. Every morning he goes to that big, ugly place, and I die from envy.
I had to leave school too. People tell me school will always be there. So
Yes, that's true. You can always go back.
can you?
I didn't leave school, actually.
Oh.
I'm in my dissertation year. Which means I'm writing a very big final paper about nothing, or I'm supposed to be, but so far I'm not. My brain is mush from Gabriella. It's actually true. Cognitive function actually changes after you have a child. When I make her mushy food in the morning, I think to myself, this is what my brain looks like.
The first 2 years they're really hard. It gets easier.
Give me hope.
Oh, what's your paper about?
Cognitive psychology,
Sounds interesting.
specifically in relation to trauma. So yes, anyway, this is where you come in.
Why me?
What do you mean, why you? My savior. I can't write in an eye shot or earshot of Gabby. I can't think in an eye shot or earshot of Gabby. I'm trying to figure out how to separate from her right now with everything going on. I know you understand this. Feel vulnerable, very, very vulnerable. Reggie is upset too. Of course he is, but he is always very casual about these kinds of things. Really don't understand that. Do you know what I told Reggie when we first started falling in love? I told him, I will not raise my children in the United States. I will not. You know why? I told him, guns. Simple, one word. And I look, here I am, living with my daughter in a town where this happens. So much for putting my foot down. You know what he said too? He said, lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice. Can you believe that? He said, we are probably in the safest place in the world right now. Because it just happened here. I mean, hopefully he was right. I think maybe I should go to that meeting and just get some perspective so my mind isn't racing so much. Maybe it will be interesting. It's always interesting to hear people's experiences, isn't it? I think Reggie will take Gabby for me. Will you be there?
I will have Marianne.
Oh, of course, of course. Is Marianne's father,
He's local.
but not,
No.
see. Oh, maybe I can fill you in after.
I'm not sure going to that meeting is gonna help with your racing mind. It's mostly people wanting answers for what went wrong, and I mean, there's been 2 of these already. I heard they never really get anywhere.
You wouldn't go? Even if you didn't have Marianne with you?
I wouldn't, if that's me.
No, you're right. You're right. It's probably for the best I don't get involved. So I am interested. It can be very, well, anyway. Do you mind if I ask you something?
No. I mean, no, it's okay. You can ask.
Are you sure? Okay, well, there's one thing I can't get out of my head since we spoke this morning. As soon as you said your daughter's age, I started getting this foreboding feeling, and now I just keep going around and around thinking about it. Does Marianne go to the school where, does she go to that school?
She goes to Edison, yes. She wasn't hurt.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
Terrible how deeply troubling.
Yeah.
And only 10 years old. I have to think about that.
Yes.
What grade is that?
What grade is she in? 3rd.
Oh. I read, is there only one 3rd grade class?
2.
I read a 3rd grade class escaped through their window. Was that
I'm sorry, Miss Judge.
Adriana?
I'm not really comfortable. It's really just, I mean, the children are all seeing social workers.
Of course, they must.
Yeah, we don't really talk too much about it.
Of course.
So I'd come in the mornings, around what time?
Yes, good, thank you. What time can you come? After you drop off Marianne?
She takes the bus.
Ah, okay. You tell me what's good for you.
I could be here by 8:30.
Let's say 9 o'clock.
That's fine.
Let's do this. On Monday and Friday, you'll come here and I'll work in the guest house, unless, of course, we're out of town for a long weekend. On Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll come here for a few hours, then take Abby to Mrs. Allison's play group. I really do want her to socialize with other children, even if the thought of sending her anywhere makes me sick right now. So that's important to keep. And then from there, can you either come back here or to your house until you pick up Marianne? It's okay to take her to your house sometimes.
I don't live alone.
I forgot your parents.
My brother and sister, our parents passed a couple of years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're so young looking. It didn't occur to me that I didn't.
You didn't know?
I didn't exactly. I didn't know, and I shouldn't have assumed. Say no more. Say no more. We will do it here. It's better. I don't know how I'm gonna separate anyway.
It'll get easier.
You're generous. Was it an accident, your parents?
No, they didn't pass at the same time. Well, sort of, they passed 2 weeks apart.
How horrible. How hard for you was it? Horrible virus. Unnecessary tragedy, so mishandled.
No, I forgot to ask about pay.
Ah, yes, we must discuss your pay, your rate. What do you normally take?
Well, it used to be 20 an hour, but
Let's not do hours. Let's do by the week. Then we can be flexible with each other.
well, I don't know what to say for a week. I've never done it that way.
Give me an offer, your wildest dreams.
I'd have to think.
Okay, think about it.
Okay. Oh, okay, maybe 6:50. And I'd be off after 5 and on weekends.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna give you 700 per week. And then the play group is 2 hours, 3 times a week. So that's a little free time for you. How's that?
Okay, thank you. That'll work.
Honestly, I have a big mouth and I've stuck my feet in them before, so.
It's all right. We're just learning about each other.
That's true. That's true, we are. Will you just put down your name and phone number and email so that, sorry, here you go. All of that, just type it in there for me. That way I can be sure you really exist and I'm not dreaming I found someone so quickly. It is important though, and I want you to think about whether this is a good time for you to take on this position. Of course, I'd love for you to take Gabby, but in light of everything, you should consider if it's really reasonable for you with everything you're going through. Will it be too much?
Yeah. No, that's okay. It'll be okay. People have to work.
That they do. Lucy Lessing, Lessing. Sounds like an actress. Okay. Well, you'll let me know. Right? We're all just figuring it out. Okay.
to walk around with a stack of papers and a staple gun.
I don't think anyone's looking at these fucking signs.
I look at them.
Yeah. But you're not normal people. You pay attention to stuff.
Edward puts a poster up. Mason jumps at the sound of the staple gun.
What? Does this bother you?
Edward discharges another staple.
You sure this is yours?
I didn't say it was mine. I said I got it from home.
So whose is it? Granny Nelson. Okay, what is she using this thing for? Hanging pictures of you?
Forget it. She isn't. That's a dumb idea.
So it is yours.
I guess it was Bray's. I don't know. There's a lot of old tools he used to use around the house.
Yeah, that's true. Brandon was what they call a true craftsman.
Not really. No one ever said that.
I'm saying it. If Bray was a craftsman, remember how he did my floors for my mom and dad on the cheap, but it didn't look cheap. I mean, it's still good 6 years on. Yeah, your brother was a craftsman.
I guess.
You know what? Dad didn't want him to put on the gloss. Bray wouldn't do it. Skinny ass standing there on 20 telling my dad that he wouldn't put the gloss on. They argued over that, you know, but amicable because they were both such fucking nice people.
Edward staples up another poster.
Did he put on the gloss?
Hell no. He just kept talking about letting the wood breathe. He kept saying words like cool and satin and soothing, patina. And then he said, I'd be honored if you put your trust on this.
I never heard him talk like that.
I guess people just level up when they are talking about something they care about.
They're always telling ghost stories.
Yeah, well, he was right. Feels cool on your feet like palace marble. How many we got left?
Nine. Where's your horse, anyways?
I found him.
Where?
He was hanging out by the school, okay, by the playground. He was always on the other side of the fence, but when the kids came out for recess, like he would always come in running up, sniffing the fence, and some of the kids would stick their fingers through and the horse would lick them. And I guess it was kind of a liability or something, because Cooper's told me to call animal service and get him removed.
Killed, probably.
Killed, definitely.
So, then what?
So then I didn't do it. Obviously, I mean, I brought him home. Lucy lost her shit, of course. She said it was going to give Marianne rabies. He doesn't have rabies. Okay, I gave him all the shots.
What did Cooper say?
Nothing. I didn't tell him, of course. Oh, what did it matter? I got rid of the dog one way or another.
Edward staples up another sign.
Let's go put some up to your Devons. I bet Horace tried to follow me over there.
Scene 7. In a high school auditorium, rows split down chairs, various attendees mill around and at their seats restlessly, muttering. Upstage, 2 long tables with 4 microphones, paper scattered across. A massive American flag hangs from the ceiling. A security guard stands mutely by the entrance at the stage. 2 council members and a district attendant, superintendent, and a mediator fill in and sit in chambers. At the side of them, a woman stands.
45 minutes. You have been waiting 45 minutes for you to start this meeting.
Ma'am, everyone, You have our apologies.
You have us waiting 45 fucking minutes.
Our apologies.
45 fucking minutes.
We have an order to speak. If you submitted your name to speak, ma'am, we will get to you.
I didn't submit my name to speak.
If you would please sit down, ma'am.
Did you know that we have been waiting for 45 minutes? Superintendent Johnson?
Yeah, we've been waiting here forever.
We're
like, it's
sorry
such a, like,
for the
inconvenience
delay.
for everybody that we have to come here.
Everyone, please sit back down. We will begin. We will begin this meeting if you will take your seats.
Everyone, where's the SRO? Where are the Coopers?
We're going to start now. Please sit down. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you. I understand I just asked you to sit down, but if you'd all rise again for the pledge of allegiance. We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now, if everyone could sit again. Please bow our heads. Councilman Morris will lead us in a prayer.
We pray, I ask you, O Heavenly Father, to give us your guidance, wisdom, and support as we embark on this meeting. Help us engage in kindness and understanding with each other and nurture the bonds of this community. Thank you for being ready to answer us, even if your answers are not what we expect or want. We thank you, God, that you know best and your will be done. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, everyone. First on our list to speak this evening is Mr. Odell. Mr. Odell, if you'd like to begin.
Good evening.
Excuse me, I was next to speak at the last meeting. I got skipped and I still have a question.
Did you put your name on the list for tonight's session?
I got skipped. My name is Flores.
I'm fine away, ma'am.
Okay, we'll hear from Mrs. Flores. Mrs. Flores, please speak into the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you. I won't take very long. I have 2 grandchildren at this school and my daughter is afraid for me to bring them back because she's a traveling nurse and she's in Richmond, Virginia right now. And on the day with the shooting, no one would tell me anything about the children because I'm not their legal guardian. My daughter couldn't get through on the telephone and no one would tell me anything. I didn't know if they were alive until 6 at night. My daughter, she gave the paperwork with the school 3 times and I cannot be the emergency contact. Then when this happens, I cannot get to my grandkids. The authorities wouldn't let me in the center, what place, I forget what it's called,
The reunification center.
thank you, yes, the reunification center. I couldn't get in. I thought I was going to see them in zipper bags. I used to work at this school as custodian and I'm being treated like a criminal when I need to know about my grandchildren.
Thank you, Mrs. Flores. I agree that is unacceptable. I've heard from many families about the bottlenecking at the reunification center and the inconsistencies in paperwork for the children. Can I ask you to speak with me after the meeting? I will make it my personal task to get your information updated with the school. Will that be okay?
Thank you, Miss. Yes.
We will hear from Mr. Odell.
Good evening, Councilman Morris, Councilwoman Silva, Superintendent Johnson. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Where are the officers tonight?
The officers will not be joining the meeting.
I heard someone ask where the school resource officer is. I'm wondering that too. It's been a hell of a 3 weeks, a terrible 3 weeks, and we are still waiting. Superintendent Johnson, sir, where is Mr. Coopers? Right now, I know myself and a lot of folks in here are feeling inclined to go after Mr. Cooper's job. He was responsible for guarding the lives of our children, Mr. Johnson. His 3 officers were responsible. Please look at me. Are you listening?
I'm listening to you, sir.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Could you speak into the equipment?
I'm listening to you, sir.
Thank you. If you could look at me when I'm speaking, I would take that as a sign of mutual respect. Thank you. Now, as I was saying, I am inclined to come for Mr. Cooper's tonight after everything we've been told about his leadership. But honestly, Superintendent Johnson, I could just as easily come for you, sir. The buck stops with you, sir. This is your school district.
Yeah. Please continue, Mr. Odell.
I understand you're trying to give us answers. All due respect to you, but we lost 7 children and 4 faculty, 4 teachers. People trying to learn, people trying to teach, okay? And one of those children just trying to go to school and learn was my nephew, Jeremiah. And my sister can't be here because she can't get out of bed right now because of her diabetes. And she hasn't been able to come down here and yell at you and cry at you because her son is gone. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again and again. We are in pain, Mr. Johnson. I know you say you were trying to give us answers, but we are in pain. And this pain has a curiosity, a suspicion. And if I'm being honest, a lot of these answers and your timelines just don't satisfy my pain's curiosity. And the more time that passes, the more suspicious and the more motivated I seem to get. Now I appreciate the answers you've given. These here are 14 complaints I've collected from 14 families. This is all I've had time to collect. There will be more. I'm sure of that. Every single one of these complaints is asking 2 things. The first is a thorough accounting of the timeline, which we still haven't received after 2 other meetings. And that means we want to know where every officer was at every minute in relation to the shooter. Not just the security officers. We also want to know where the responding officers were. At every minute, when calls were received, when officers arrived on the scene, where they posted up, and when. We deserve to know this information. That's the first thing. The second thing these papers are asking for is a resignation of the SRO, or hell, just fire him. Yeah! I don't know where Mr. Cooper's is tonight. Guess he has somewhere better to be. His officers didn't do the job. They did not run in, they hid and waited. And now we're finding out that one of them actually ran out. Jeremiah deserved better than that. I gave that boy a Jell-O cup that morning to take to school in his bag. He was excited. You know why? He was gonna trade it with Gracie for a chocolate pudding cup. Now they're both not here. Someone's going to be accountable for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Odell. Would you like to make a response, Mr. Superintendent?
I will say, and thank you, Mr. Odell. I will say that I can't begin to imagine what you are feeling as parents I've been deeply affected by this tragedy in a personal way, not just a professional way. Now, I know this isn't popular to say, but I have to acknowledge I've been very impressed with the initial investigation into the incident. Just wait, all right, wait. I know it's frustrating not to hear every detail. I do understand that, okay? And I can only assure you that a proper and thorough investigation is ongoing, and you will be answered when it is the appropriate time.
Appropriate time? Are you kidding us?
Next to speak is Mrs. Delroy. Is Mrs. Delroy here? Mrs. Delroy, you're welcome to begin.
Hello, thank you. I appreciate you all being here, and I want to thank you, especially Councilwoman Silva. Ms. Silva, thank you for coming by the school this morning. It was a very tense morning for me and a lot of the other parents having our children walk back into the school today. And so I just want to thank you personally for being here, there to be at the doors for the kids. I know a lot of people are cynical about these things, and I read that some people were calling it a photo op and all kinds of other things, but I do want to thank you. I do. For me, it does mean a lot. And for me, when someone takes the time to show up, it matters. So like I said, my children started back at school today, and I wish I could be back home with them right now, giving them dinner, but I understand you guys were unable to move the meeting to another night. And so I think a lot of parents couldn't be here or didn't want to be, but I still feel like I need to be here. My kids walked in that school today, and my kids weren't the only ones. A lot of kids walked back in those schools, but a lot of families chose to move their kids to different schools or not send them back at all. And I didn't have that choice. My only choice is to send my children back into Edison, and unless we move or win the lottery, that will be my only choice next year too. So I guess I'm following up again to see or to find out what we can expect next year. What I can expect in terms of security. Ms. Silva, last meeting I asked you about the silent alarm. It was triggered by somebody and nobody seems to know who triggered it. Or be able to tell us exactly what time it was triggered or why the response was so slow after that point. Councilwoman Silva, you told me specifically you would look into this matter and you said you'd get me an answer on that. And I'm just hoping to know, I guess, what you found. That's all. Thanks.
Councilwoman Silva, can you address that?
Thank you for your comments, Mrs. Delroy. I was very glad to be at Edison this morning and see the children and educators return to school. When I ran to represent this district, I ran on a platform of improving the school board's response to the educational delays caused by the pandemic. Your children deserve an uninterrupted education, and to have this tragedy occur and have the children removed from school again for 3 weeks has been understandably frustrating. I do understand their concerns as a parent about returning to school. I can relate to the inner conflict of wanting to protect and isolate your children at the same time, knowing they need and you need normalcy.
Your children go to Claver Academy.
Please let him finish, sir.
As I was saying, you were right. My children do not attend Edison, but I do appreciate deeply what you are going through as parents and caregivers and concerned citizens. How and when to ensure your children can not just return to school, but feel that they are entering a safe space. This has been at the forefront for me. It is delicate, and there's certainly a difference between respect and delay. I do understand the concerns raised by Mrs. Delroy and by the other members of our community about school security going forward. And I'm happy that I've been clear to discuss some of the preliminary plans, including new cameras, new fencing, and we hope a new mandate for permitted only entry to the parking lot. We have some materials to present in the second portion of the meeting.
But what about the alarm?
not clear to discuss very much about the alarm. The details of why that alarm was triggered prior to the gunman's initial entry are still being investigated. But I have looked at the tape.
What tape?
And read the interviews.
What tape? They said the cameras didn't work.
Superintendent Johnson, do you want to discuss with the community about the tape?
What tape?
Lights down, upstage. Lights up, downstage.
Let's push them down this alley. People come out the back and smoke in the back of the ale house.
You ever come here?
Not my kind of hang. People are like fingers. That's me. I don't want more than 5. I think that's 2 times.
Oh, I get it. On my hand, that's funny. Most people like bars, though. I guess for the music. I saw Cooper's down at the Monkey a couple nights ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he did not look good.
Yeah. He's catching heat. What were you doing at the sleeper or at the Monkey Sleeper?
I wasn't there. I wasn't inside there. I was just around.
Of course you would. Man, pests like you're everywhere.
Well, it's a good thing I am. If I wasn't, by that day, you wouldn't have ever even known that truck pulled up, or you wouldn't have known about Katie and coming on towards the school with a bunch of guns.
Shut up.
Well, it's a good thing I am, isn't it? If I wasn't going by that day, you wouldn't have even known the truck was pulled up by the road, and you'd probably be talking to your grave right now.
Serious. You've got to shut up. You got to be quiet about that.
I knew he'd make good.
Shut up! Okay, unless you want to get hauled down to the station, okay?
I might be a hero.
Yeah? Well, you're not one, okay? Trust me, there aren't any heroes for this one. And you crowing like a damn fool wouldn't make any difference. Some things are just shit. Shit to the core. And the shit is so strong that every flavor that you throw in it turns into tasting like shit. All right, come on, let's just cut through.
Edward and Mason try to pry a piece of wood from the fence frame.
It's nailed back.
I just came through here.
We can pry it. Looks like it's nailed from the other side.
Mason starts to pull the piece of wood.
Okay, wait, don't do that. Don't, okay, hold on a second.
You good?
Yeah, just a second.
You're breathing funny.
Okay, just a fucking second. Damn, okay, can I just have a minute, okay? All right, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. All right, let's just go around the front, okay, ring the bell. Let's get spooked. If guys come through, cut too much. Right, let's just go.
Lights up, upstage.
It was originally reported to the school district that no cameras were working.
Well, that was obviously bullshit.
That was misreported. The one working camera was located, and now we have more clarity.
Well, we want to see it.
Yeah.
We
deserve to be able to see
we can't show the video, but I can share that it clearly tracks the shooter walking down the north hallway upon entering the building.
These are our kids. We deserve to see it.
We're not authorized to show it at this time,
Wow.
but we don't have the tape, but Councilman Morris will walk you through the activity that's shown on the tape. I think we can do that, yes?
Okay, yes. So, as Superintendent Johnson said a moment ago, the working camera is here. It tracks the shooter walking down the north hallway here. The same video shows one of our school officers crossing frame after the shooter passes out of view and moving along the west hallway.
What officer does it show?
It's Officer Edward Lessing.
I've seen that kid. What time was it?
10:33.
What do we have written there? Do you have actual facts written there?
Gunman entered at 10:29. That's 4 minutes.
That is the first visual stamp we have of the school officer.
What do you mean first? Is this is there more video?
Excuse me. You said the officer's name is Lessing? Lessing.
Officer Edward Lessing, yes, Lessing.
Do you know him? What? No, no, but I met a different person with the last name. See? Lessing. Maybe it's a common name here?
Where was the shooter when the security officer runs by?
But the other Lessing I met has a child in this school.
At that point, the gunman was likely at the east end of the North Hall and was no longer in frame.
Are you saying that after 3 weeks of investigation, an investigation you're impressed with, you still don't know where the shooter was when the officer appears on tape? You can be approximate, okay? Can you be approximate?
We believe at that point, the shooter was trying to gain access to the gymnasium where several classrooms were sheltering in place.
So why didn't Lessing put also out at the gymnasium?
Our investigation shows that Officer Lessing saw a clear opportunity to secure a classroom of 23 children and 2 teachers, which he did.
If the classes had time to shelter in place at the gym, then there must have already been shooting. So that doesn't make any sense.
When was the silent alarm triggered? Was it before he entered?
Where were the other officers? I heard one went outside.
Yeah, we've concluded that one of the officers did remove himself from the building.
Remove himself. All due respect, show us some respect. He ran.
As the sheriff detailed in his press conference yesterday, the district committee voted unanimously to terminate Mr. Grayson from his post last week. The remaining 2 officers were in the school during the gunfire. One remains on disciplinary leave to further investigate his conduct during the incident. The final officer, Officer Lessing, has been cleared to return to duty at the school. Okay, we've concluded that he honorably fulfilled his duties, managing to extract an entire classroom of children from the building and giving them cover as they crossed the field to the police barricade.
Did Officer Lessing trigger the silent alarm?
Again, I cannot release those details.
Right, then what's the
Wow.
point of this?
Excuse
Yeah,
me,
like, we can't know
Why
anything.
is
Excuse
it-
me.
Ma'am, we have an order to speak.
I'm sure you did, but everyone is speaking.
Why won't you give us any information about the alarm?
Excuse me, I read only one classroom escaped the school and all the other survivors took cover in the school.
Who are you? Who is she?
It was a 3rd grade classroom, correct?
Yes, grade 3B.
Sorry, 3 what?
So there's grade 3A and 3. They're right next to
Oh, I see. Thank you.
We all know this already. You're a reporter. Is she a reporter?
Are you? I hope you are. Someone better be getting this full on record. And by the way, make sure to tell them if they made us wait for 45 minutes and now they're stonewalling.
My name is Adriana Judge. I'm a new resident.
Can you have everyone sit down again, please? We have an order to speak. Miss Judge, if there's time, we can address your question at the end.
I still haven't gotten an answer about the silent alarm.
Superintendent Johnson, would you like to comment about the silent alarm?
I don't have the authority.
Come on. Who did it?
Again, I shouldn't. comment.
What? Fine. What time? My cousin works for the alarm company and he said he saw something happen at 10:17. I don't want to look at it.
Is that true?
I won't comment on this.
Look, I'm pretty sure the sound alarm was triggered at 10:17.
That's 12 minutes before he even got there.
Who pressed it?
What was going on for 12 more minutes? What the hell is this?
Everyone, please be calm.
Fuck you.
No. Yeah.
Mr. Superintendent.
The sheriff gave a press conference yesterday detailing the timeline. I don't have anything further.
You didn't say anything about the silent alarm. This lady here, she keeps asking about it. Why won't anyone answer? It's 10:17, isn't it?
Sir, I can't get ahead of the law here, okay? I can't give details of this investigation that haven't been authorized by the sheriff's department.
Yeah, I don't need to wait for any investigation to put those pieces together. Someone saw him coming. Somebody knew. Somebody saw him before he got in the school. You all listening? Somebody triggered a silent alarm to bring our slow, lazy, apathetic, I don't fucking know which police down to the school. Probably they expected the police would get there faster. What I don't understand is what was going on in the damn school for 12 more fucking minutes while backup was finishing their goddamn breakfast.
We can proceed to the next speaker.
I'd like to ask something about the rescue in the third grade classroom.
We have an order to speak. Ms. Lees is next.
No, let the reporter talk.
I'd like to understand better. Did Officer Lessing help any other children or just that one classroom just in grade 3B?
Mr. Superintendent.
Officer Lessing escorted grade 3B across the lawn to the barricade. This time, backup was heading into the building, so the officer was asked to remain outside.
Can you point to the diagram again? Can you show the third grade classroom in relation to the hallway on the table?
Councilmember Morris, can you return to the visual aid?
This is where the classroom is located, here at the east end of the south hall. And this is where the officer crosses frame.
I see. So grade 3B is the last classroom on that hallway. What's next to it?
3A.
Huh. And they were taking cover in the gym?
Grade 3A sheltered in place.
Meaning they stayed in the classroom?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means Officer Lessing ran past grade 3A to get to 3B.
Drops her keys, picks them up and steals her coffee.
How about those other doors? That's second grade and first grade A. Those are my children's classrooms. They sheltered in place too. Why didn't the other officer go to those classrooms? They would have been first if he was running that way.
Lights down, stays up. 10. Lights up, stays down. Edward and Mason stand at Devin's front door. Edward rings the doorbell. They wait.
That rotten killer dog better be locked up somewhere.
Deb still has that dog?
Dude, that beast will live forever.
Doesn't seem like he's home.
I feel like I can sense him. You know how some people you can feel them, like they got this atmosphere or something. I don't know. Sometimes with Deb, like his mood change a little, and I don't know. The whole room turns inside out. Lucy can be like that too. Some people are like that.
Am I like that?
Are you kidding?
Bray used to say someone would kill Devin one day because of his mouth.
That's the second time you brought up Gray in an hour.
Think about him, I guess.
Yeah.
I get that sometimes. It's a shadow.
What do you mean by shadow?
Like, there's me, and then there's my shadow. Like there's you, then there's your shadow. Your shadow probably has your mom, dad, Bray, all those little kids in it now, I guess. You might have Bray too, obviously. The old Jeep and that bit of my brain that got all fucked up in the accident.
Maybe that's why I like the nighttime. No sun, no shadow.
That's when the greens come out.
I'm fucked with them. My mom always said that this time of night is glowing.
What?
Means glowing or something. She said it was her favorite time of the whole day. I hate it.
How come? You like night, you just said it.
Yeah, but this isn't night. It isn't anything but in between, and everything looks half erased. It's like when you take something and you know it's in your bloodstream, but you're not high yet. I hate that. Like I know what's coming, and I know I'm going all the way in, but I'm not in it yet, and there's no going back at the same time.
Yeah, but the light's in place.
I don't think so. I hate it. I mean, just give me one or the other.
Sounds of a dog whining.
Where's that coming from?
Inside, I think.
Yo, Deb, you there?
Sounds of yelping and whining.
Is it Horace?
I can't tell. It sounds like him. Horace?
Sounds of a dog whining.
Yeah, I think that's him. Fuck, voicemail. Yo, Deb, you got my dog in your house? A little white scruff? You home or what? The cut's nailed back.
He pounds the door again.
Damn it, I swear to God. Let's go around the side or the window. We'll find something.
Lights down. Stage down. Scene 11. At the town meeting, irate attendees stand addressing the council members. Councilmember Morris begins taking down the visual aid.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Leave that up.
Sir, you can't come up here.
Hold on. Sure I can. Johnny, come over here. Check me. I'm not threatening anyone. I just want to see something.
Mr. O'Dell holds his hand over his hip pistol and pulls out his knife from his sock.
Sir, Mr. Odell, this is unnecessary. You can speak for where you are. Don't let them come on the stage.
Got my weapons. We're good. We're good, right?
Yeah, let him talk. Seriously.
Mr. Odell, please return to your seat. You are not invited onto the stage. Will you guard the steps, please?
Now you've got a security response.
For a fucking joke. Okay, that's okay. Okay. Let me get this straight. Let me get the setup. It's funny, I know the school pretty well, but seeing it like this gives a bit of a different perspective. Okay, can everybody see? School is a square, right? And the hallways pretty much make a U shape. Pretty basic. The area here is in the middle is the gymnasium. And this area over here is what? Mr. Superintendent? What is this area?
Sir, please take your seat.
No, I'm gonna bear this out. What is this right here?
Well, answer him.
Mr. Superintendent?
That is the teacher's lounge, and west of that is the security office, and east of that is the administration office.
Okay, thank you. So at 10:29, the tape shows the gunman walk down this hallway.
That's correct.
Then what does it show? Then what does it show?
It shows the gunman enter the teacher's lounge. 2 teachers were shot, Mrs. Grant and Mr. Masters.
Now I remember this from school. That's what's called past tense. 2 teachers were shot. How about we use an active tense? Active shooter, active tense. That square up? Katie and Lomar shot 2 teachers in the teacher's lounge. Killed. So Katie and Lomar killed 2 teachers in the teacher's lounge. Okay.
They both were, yes, killed, succumbed to their injuries later.
And then what happened?
As was said earlier, we believe at that point the shooter tried to gain access to the gymnasium.
Here.
Yes, there.
That's right next to these classrooms. These are 4th and 5th grade, right?
That is correct, but they were sheltering in the gym. The gunman was unable to gain access.
Right, he couldn't get in there, but he tried. And while he was trying to do that, you said Officer Lessing, he ran across the west hallway. And then he turns and he ran all the way up to the end of the south hallway here. Here to grade 3B.
Yes, and he helped all 23 children climb out of the classroom window, and he gave them cover
As they crossed the
lawn to the
police barricade.
Yes.
So he ran all the way here, practically speaking, about as damn far from the shooter as he could. And next to here is grade 3A. And next to that is classroom 2A. And next to that is grade 1A. And next to that, what?
Grade 2B.
And next to that is what? What classroom is this? Which children are in this classroom? Answer me. Answer me.
It's grade 1B, sir. It's grade 1B.
That's what I thought it might be. Grade 1B. That's what I thought. And after the shooter couldn't get into the gym, what did he do? He came back down the north hallway, opposite way as he came before, and he turned left, didn't he? Into the west hallway. And then he started coming in Lessing's footsteps here along this hallway, and then he gets here to this classroom. Right, Councilwoman?
Yes, sir.
Grade 1B. You know, it's my nephew's classroom. It's where Jeremiah was with his friend Grace. He was in there with his teachers, Mrs. Fry, Mrs. Cortez, and with his classmates, Austin and Tanya, Michael, Ty, Crystal, and the rest of them that were in there, but are injured or traumatized for the rest of their lives. Grade 1B. They were hiding under their desks. I think that's funny. The first thing anyone thinks to tell children, get under your desks. Maybe in an earthquake, but we don't get earthquakes here. It sure fucking feels like an earthquake. Get under your desk, sit still, and wait for the bullets. Fuck you all. I'm sorry. All right. This is the first classroom down the hallway. So this is the first door Officer Lessing ran by. Why? Why didn't he help them? Why didn't he stop for Jeremiah? or Grace or the others because he was scared, because he wanted to get away as far away as possible. They were scared. They wanted to get away too. And he didn't stop here, or at this one, or at this one, or at this one, or at this one. Why didn't he stop for them? Why didn't he help them? Why didn't he stop? Why didn't he stop for Jeremiah?
Someone, is there someone, does he have anyone here?
Doesn't have anyone here.
Thank you both. Thank you.
I think we should adjourn this meeting. I think we've heard your questions and we have a number of topics to explore and
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is it possible the officer is a relative of anyone in grade 3B? Is it possible that the officer ran there for someone?
Everyone face turns into unison to look at Ariana, and by proxy, Beatrice. Even Mr. Aldar looks up. After a tense beat, Beatrice grabs her belongings and flees the auditorium, pushing past everyone. Every set of eyes watches her go. Lights down, stage up. Scene 12. Edward and Mason enter Devin's home through a window. They hear intense whining and barking.
Devin, where are you?
It's coming from the basement.
All right, come on.
I don't want to go down there. I'm not going down there.
I thought you wanted to be a hero, okay? Come on.
I'm not going. I'm not one.
Growling and piercing whine. Some laughter.
God damn it.
Edward flings open the door and disappears. An anguished cry and a terrible autopsy of dogs whining and barking, people yelling, glass breaking, furniture crashing.
Devin, God damn it. Get him off. Get him off.
A ruckus growls louder. Mason stands alone on the stage as whirling sounds and shadows encompass him. Beatrice enters 114 Maplethorn Way. Lucy sits at the table, an unlit candle and the remainder of a child's dinner. Beatrice walks to the sink and puts the groceries in the container, never taking her eyes off Lucy.
Looking at me like that. for?
I'm not.
Don't.
Beatrice turns over and washes her hands.
It's on sale.
Beatrice unpacks the groceries.
They were out of the O's, so I just got the balls.
What's wrong?
It's Marianne asleep. It's still going.
Well, what can I tell you? I mean, people can't get enough of things that can't be helped.
People can't get enough of things that should have been helped. What is this?
You asked for it.
You're supposed to light it then.
Where's Eddie?
Not with me.
Why are you wearing his jacket then?
Forget it. Listen, there's this woman down at the meeting, a young woman, your age, okay, maybe my age even. I have never seen her until today. I saw her at Thriftway earlier too, and they said he saw her a couple times before.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a little girl, I guess. She was smart, Lucy, rich seeming. She heard Eddie's name and she perked right up. Yes. Oh.
I don't know why.
And she kept asking about Marianne's classroom.
Okay, a lot of people asked about that. It was the only bit of good news, I guess.
Who do you think you're talking to? You think she was asking to hear a fucking bedtime story?
If you want to say something, then you should say it. I mean, I've had enough of this from you, B. You want to say something, if you want to ask me something, then do it.
Do you know her? She knows you, Lucy. She had your name in her phone.
I was supposed to be watching her little girl.
What do you mean supposed to? Aren't you?
Yes, I am. I think so. I don't know.
Why don't you know now what is going on with you?
Nothing. Stop pressing me. I've just been giving Marianne dinner and putting her to bed. Okay, waiting. What did she say? What did Adriana say at the meeting?
She was asking stuff. I don't know. She was drawing a line, I guess. Like constellating. Do you know what that means? It means connecting stars.
Yes, I know what it means.
Okay, well, you're a star, Lucy. Do you understand it? And Eddie's a star. And I left before she got to Marianne, but Marianne is a fucking star too. And I couldn't tell if she even knew what she was doing or if she was just instinctual. She was connecting Eddie to Marianne's classroom. And it got bad. It got bad, Lucy. I don't know. I started to kind of feel like Eddie's a hero, and now it just feels like he did something really, really wrong. Why is that? I just kept dropping things at the meeting. What is going on? Why do I feel so terrible? And why won't you two talk to me? You guys won't tell me a damn thing.
What do you want me to say?
Do you know something? Do you know anything about the day that you haven't told me?
Why would I know anything that you don't?
Oh my God, damn it, enough! What happened? What happened, Lucy? Do you know what they're talking about down there right now? They're saying, how come the only class that got out of school had Officer Lessings' goddamn niece in it? That's what they're talking about right now. That's what they're asking, okay? And everyone's saying that a lot of time has passed. A lot of time, too much time. Okay, they're starting to think Edward might have been the one who pressed the silent alarm. And then there's this whole stretch of minutes that just got lost. What happened?
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, okay, well, okay, nothing happened. That isn't what any other person would have done.
Tell me!
I guess Eddie got a call that Katie and Lomer was up near the road unloading some guns into a bag.
A call from other security?
Okay, listen, if you want to tell me, if you just, okay, if you want me to tell you this, you just gotta shut up. You gotta shut up and you gotta listen, okay? If I'm gonna get this out, just be silent, okay? Silent. Eddie got a call, a private call. It wasn't from security, whatever. It was a call to his cell phone about someone seeing Katie and up there. Yeah, fine. It was Mason, okay? Mason called him. He was digging that tadpoles out of the mud bank and up near the creek trying to save them. You know, I guess so. So he called Eddie. And Eddie told the other security officers right away. You know, they were all three at the school, which isn't always the case, but there'd just been that shooting over in Columbia last week, and the district wanted more of a presence for a few days. All of us, all the parents got a notice about that. So Eddie told the other two, and then he pressed the silent alarm. Eddie said the alarm is supposed to unleash the wrath of God. I mean, he told me they don't use it ever, you know, unless They mean it. So it's just supposed to bring the whole police force down on the school, like lickety split, like, and that's what he thought would happen. Of course he thought that. You know, one of the security officers ran out of the school, the nasty looking one, Grayson, like he just plain ran. The other one told the classrooms on the other side of the building, the older classrooms, and the other one, I mean, I think it was like 4th and 5th grade, and he took them into the gym, and then he barricaded himself in there too, which, I mean, that's just crazy. And I don't think Eddie was expecting him to do that. So when the other guy didn't come back, like Eddie he started panicking, because at that point, like he could see Katie and cresting the hill, and the psycho was in full riot gear and painted, you know, up to the teeth. And Eddie, I mean, you know him, he's not really a violent guy. He was never a fighter. So he called me. And he was really scared, and his voice was shaking, and he sounded 6 years old, you know, just stuck up in the live oak tree again, and he couldn't get down, and he asked me what he should do.
You talked to him that day.
B, I swear to God, please, just be quiet. I talked to him, yes, and I told him what to do. I told him to protect my daughter. I told him he couldn't die, and I told him she couldn't die. And I made him swear it up and down. So, you know, if anyone is to blame for what happened next, it's probably me. But I can't take one more thing, B. I can't take one more loss. And he was calling me and asking me, and that was like an olive branch from God as far as I'm concerned. How often does God look down on a tragedy that's unfolding, you know, and he asked you how you want it to go. I was just thinking about mom and dad and all the grief, and I you know, it's something I still swallow back in my throat every morning just to face the day. And I told him what to do. You know, I just told him what I told him. So what? You know, do you think if Adriana Judge's daughter was in that school and Eddie called her, that she would say for him to go save everyone else except for her kid? No, of course she wouldn't. I'm telling you, B, some things are just rotten, and there's no way around it. I can't lose anything else, and I can't keep doing life and keep losing at it. And you know, everyone plays to their advantages. Okay, everyone leverages what they have. And for some people, it's their money or their education or their careers. Well, I don't have a single one of those things. But in that moment, with the devil walking toward my little girl's school, you know, his face painted like the angel of fucking death. In that moment, I had a tin can on a fucking string with my brother on the other end of it. You know, my brother. It's my birthright, B. It's Marianne's birthright to be preferred by my very own brother. To have her life preferred over those other sweet babies. I know that's terrible to say, but it's true. You wouldn't do any different. You wouldn't. And I'll tell you what, I thank God that night for the first time in a long time. I got on my knees and I did. You wouldn't do any different than what I did. I know there's going to be some kind of accounting, and you know, I guess I just have to be ready for it.
The phone rings. Beatrice and Lucy look at one another. The phone continues to ring.
Don't answer.
What if it's Eddie?
They look at each other until the ringing stops. Silence.
We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything that anyone else wouldn't do. Nothing happened that is not 100% human.
And I wish it was. God, I wish I could just walk and stay backwards and be back in the morning time arguing about the fucking croaks. It didn't all feel so ominous then, but maybe. I'm not waiting for any to like this. You want to say something? I don't have anything to say. I will just let me think. Okay, Mom. I'm here with Lucy right now. And Edward, he's out somewhere too. And I don't know if I can ask you for this or whatever, but if
Just then, Edward burst in, carrying his dog horse, a drooping,
Help.
matted mess with white fur.
Help me, please. Okay, he's bleeding. I can't tell where. Please do something.
what's he hit? What the fuck happened?
Do something.
Beatrice helps Edward lower the dog to the floor. She searches for injuries.
Oh my God, he's got so much fur. I can't tell what's what. Can you get a washcloth, William? Get one of those plastic quirts and just fill it with warm water. What happened to him, Eddie?
Is he gonna die?
I can't.
Is he even breathing?
I can't tell.
Okay, here, just pour it over him. We've got to find where the blood's coming from.
He begins to pour water over the dog, and Beatrice inspects him for injuries.
Better pour it over all of us. We're all coming clean tonight.
I don't care. I don't care. Okay, just tell me if he's dead.
Lucy kneels down and puts her head near the dog's face.
I can do something. Listen. It's barely there, but there's still life.
Edward listens, then Beatrice.
And his leg is ripped up pretty good, and the rest of the inner parts of him, I don't know. It's hard to tell. There's so much mess. There's so much blood out here. But I can start working on his leg. At least I can clean that up. I know how to do stitches. Dad showed me.
The phone rings.
Lucy, can you get Mom's sewing kit, please?
Lucy receives a sewing basket from the cabinet in the den. Beatrice pulls out a needle.
Give me the candle, will you?
The phone continues to ring as Lucy passes the memorial candle from the table, and Beatrice runs the tip of the needle through the flame, threads it, and gets to work on Boris's leg. The phone stops ringing. Beatrice works in silence for a moment. Then,
See, Eddie.
Nowhere.
What the fuck happened?
Are you fighting?
A little.
You are a real gift.
Go on, Eddie. Just tell me what happened. It's gonna help me while I work, okay?
Okay. After we got the coffees started, we started making our way to Deb's house. You know, I thought he might have followed me over there. So Maze and I went to put up signs over there.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah, so I tried to come through the alley, but the cutway was nailed back. And I thought it was weird, right? I mean, Deb only does that when he's in a bad state of mind. We waited for him on the porch in a while, but then we heard Horace inside.
How did you know it was him?
I don't know. Okay, and Deb wasn't answering, so we broke in the window to the den.
Oh my God. You broke in.
And I followed him. I followed the sound downstairs into the basement. Horace was there. And a few guys were over there, Jackson and a couple of the other guys, and Deb. Some of them were just playing video games and not even minding what was going on. And it took me a second to understand it, like figure out what was going on, what I was seeing. Horace was right there, but he was tied up in the front of his leg. So every time he tried to stand up, he kept falling over sideways. And Dev was laughing. And it was like he tried to set up a fight ring or something. And I saw Dev had a Hellraiser by the collar, and I realized that he was pretty hurt already. So I was like, yo, Dev, that's my dog, okay? I was like, what are you doing? And he just looked at me. I don't know. He kept looking at me like a stranger. I mean, he was so far gone. And then he loosened Hellraiser. And Hellraiser got Horace by the neck and was just tossing him around like an old t-shirt or something. Like he didn't have any bones. and I got in there quick.
Horse switches.
I don't know. I got in there. I saw red, you know, I couldn't think. I know I kicked the beast so damn hard that the side of the skull must have been sent to the ground, but then Dev was on top of me, and I don't know. He broke a bottle on me, but only got my shoulder, and I was wrestling with him in the glass, and blood got on me, got on top of him, and I hit him. I hit him again and again, and I wanted to hit him so hard. I wanted my fist just so deep that I see blue blood. I swear to God. Then I heard Jackson's voice just yelling at me like he was like swimming towards me through this cloud, and he was yelling like, "You're gonna kill him! You're gonna kill him!" And I felt his big hand pulling back, but I just stopped. I stopped dead. I picked up Horace and I ran out of there.
Jesus, Eddie, what are you trying to start? Where is Mason?
I don't know. Shit, I don't know. I got Horace and I ran.
It's okay. Preston, it's not all right. It's okay. You're not all right. Yeah, how could you be?
Is Horace gonna be okay?
I don't know. Just let me work.
The phone starts ringing. They all jump. Lucy rips the cord out of the wall. Silence.
Why did I go over there yesterday? I should have just stayed home and watched TV with him. I didn't even notice he was following me. I'm some fucking animal lover I am.
It's not your fault.
It is my fault. It's my fault. You can count on me. You can count on me, Lucy. You know better than anyone that you can count on me to be a coward. You can count on me to not know what to do.
You're not a coward.
I am. He sees me for what I am. I know you do. You didn't believe for 1 second that I was any kind of hero. You've been sleuthing around with your detector to see if I'm real gold. And are you just so pleased as punch that I haven't turned up a goddamn thing? I waited too long, okay? I waited to go find him. Maybe he must have been so scared. So sorry. I'm so sorry, bully. This is my fault. Why are his eyes like that? B, why are his eyes like that?
Beatrice leans over his head over the dog, listening fervently.
No. No, that can't be true. No, stop lying. It's not true. Okay, you get off him. Get off him. No, that's not right. It's not true. I'll protect you.
A warehouse delivery man can be seen approaching the front door to 114 Maple Thorn Way, carrying a massive package marked same-day delivery, presumably containing Ariana Judge's new car seat. He rings the doorbell, and the three siblings look up at each other sharply, like they heard a gunshot. Blackout. The end.
We're gonna take a quick 10-minute break, get snacks, go to the bathroom, then we'll come back together and we'll do a quick little talk back so we can hear takeaways and things like that. And the playwright is watching with us, so she'll get to hear your thoughts and everything like that too. So stick around. Thanks, everybody. See you in 10. to our talk back section now. So, if we come up, sit on the stage or in these chairs over here, we can bring them over. Hey guys, hello. Hi. Feel free to stay the topic.
That's a dog.
Start our talk back. Yes, okay, cool. So if you guys can like move up closer, like you can sit on the stage, we can all be seen on this camera. It's all like a nice, fun little, everyone's together. So we can wave to our playwright Lori. She's on the live stream, so she's listening in. Lori, if you have any questions, you can put them into the chat or email or anything else like that. We're gonna start off with just the way that we like to do the feedback here. Isaac Byrne, who is our Meisner teacher coach here, he's in New York. He zooms in with us, and he's the creator of these Friday night reading series. He always says that there are 5 great primal urges of humankind: food, water, air, sex, and the urge to rewrite someone else's play. That's what we're not going to do. So we have some questions that we asked just to get kind of the feeling that you got rather than rewriting the play. And then Lori will jump in if she has specific questions or things that she wants to hear about what we got from it. So the first question is, what are positive things that popped out to you? Things that are memorable, that stick with you. They could be images, lines, ideas, feelings, anything like that. Oh, Martha, yeah.
I think the relationship between the siblings, like even though they're all very kind of in different places, I feel like I could feel how much they all loved or cared about each other. I think especially having lost parents, like there's something that even if they're not on the same page, they still felt very connected.
Yeah, people can just jump in, whatever thoughts, ideas, etc.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. What are some positive things that popped out to you, or memorable things, things that stuck with you? It could be lines, ideas, feelings, images, anything like that. Yeah, go ahead.
I actually really enjoyed the amount of like detail and work that went into the like reading scenes. And I just thought the dialogue was really nice. It was very, it felt organic, and it definitely felt like in the moment, the characters were definitely reacting in a way that made sense. The emotions made perfect sense to me. So I really enjoyed that scene in particular.
Thank you.
Just really well done.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on Bruce, and I don't know if Bruce said it, and specifically the whispering of the people in charge, right? Like I just loved being frustrated by that, and like just how annoying that is. Yeah, like, oh, can we share that information? Like, oh, the secrets and like what was withheld. It's just like to be kind of put through that. Yeah.
And the fact that people were reacting appropriately to that, they were getting frustrated as well. So there was clamoring on both sides, which I really enjoyed.
The line that resonated the most with me out of the whole play was when Lucy says, "As far as I'm concerned, God extended me an olive branch." That was just like a really heavy, like hit home, and it just like puts things into perspective. Like if you were a parent, you would do the same thing.
And the birthright line.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking deep. Like, that was heavy.
That whole
And
monologue.
also I agreed. And I felt fucked up for agreeing, so.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that Lucy's whole monologue there was really powerful.
I like Mace's line where he's like, it's really hard to do it by myself with the string. I thought that was really sweet. And this, like, actually running through it today and having this reading, that was the first time it clicked for me that he was implying something with B. At least that's what I thought he was doing. And I thought it was really sweet.
What? We get Lori. Hello, Lori. We can see you.
Sorry, my like kids are sleeping in the other room, so I was like trying to sneak out. It's very late here. I'm in on the East Coast.
Oh, thanks.
Hi.
It's great to see you.
Great to see you.
Do you have any questions that you want to ask before we go down the rest of it? Do you have specific-
No, I'm totally I've heard everything you've said so far. I was just trying to get on this Zoom thing, but I'm just happy to listen.
Okay, awesome. That's so good to see you. One of the things that stuck out while I was watching is the humor in it. There's definitely more funny, like, and it's just also the juxtaposition of it, of how serious everything is, and like going into it, that's what I was thinking about the most. But then while I was watching it, the funny lines or the moments, or there's things that I don't even know if they were intentionally funny, but they came out funny. Yeah,
Like unintentional.
right.
All right, like when one of the men were like, "Fuck
Yeah.
everybody." It was like it was so like out of place, but it was perfect at the same time. I loved that.
I even felt guilty because like in the courtroom scene, I kept laughing and being like, oh my God, that's so serious.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't believe I was just laughing.
Yeah, it is interesting. And then it like turns around and it's like gut
It
punches.
punches you
Yeah,
in the
gut
gut.
punches you when you're
By
picking
your-
out
yeah.
sponges.
Yeah. There was moments with, what's called Megan and your character where it was like, Adriana, sorry, thank you. Same thing where I feel like going through it seemed very serious and like you can feel the tension, but then in it, it was just much more humor than I expected.
There's a lot of humor from
Yeah.
just like the awkward
The awkward,
interactions of
yeah.
people trying to be regular people around each other and failing very much.
Well, like we all do, right?
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
yes.
But not funny in real life.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, go ahead. please.
The writing was so well done. I loved how the suspense kind of built up and how the audience was kind of going along with it and not knowing, what everyone knew, and then kind of finding it out and being like, oh, and that's why she reacted like this in the beginning, and it just came together really nicely.
Oh, cool. I love that.
I'm gonna agree with that too. I already just told you this, but just reading it the first time, I was like, this is the easiest script I've ever read in my life. Like I can understand everything through one read through, and that's never happened before.
Okay, the next question, and we can also, if you think of something else, like this is chill. The next question is, what questions are you left with? And so these are not necessarily questions that we're asking Lori or that we're looking for an answer, but like from what you saw and what it's left you with, what questions are left? Or was anything confusing?
Yeah, what happens to the dog?
Oh, I have an answer. I don't know if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a question. The thing is, why are you so guilty about saving your own? Like, the thing is about that is, if I were in my position, like, if I was in that position, I would go straight to my own and my family, and I would feel guilty about it, but I would probably defend to the death that I'm saving my blood, as opposed to first, second, third.
Yeah, I think that's the conversation it wants to start, because you have a mother who is a mother and will save her child, yet you have all these upset people in the town when it clicks for everybody, where it's like, oh fuck, like,
It's massive survivor skill.
right, but it's like the whole thing of like, it's like that thing, the train thing, where it's like, do you do like one, you know what I'm saying, the trolley problem.
Yeah.
It's like that. I think it gives you something to think about.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest question for me was what's gonna happen to Edward, or like repercussion wise or something, if he's kind of seen as, just what comes along with it. We're just having a conversation about it, how sometimes life does feel like you don't get the satisfactory like answers that you want all the time. So I feel like it makes sense in that way. It's just also very aggravating. But I feel like I don't know if I want to know. I think that I'm left with that feeling, like if that's a better feeling than the kind of closed book bow tie on the top, Like,
Yeah.
it's usually not that way. Yeah.
I have a question about Mason. Sorry, I just really like Mason. So he mentions later on in the story with Eddie something about an accident, and I don't know how much that was spoken about earlier on in the play, but that was the only thing that like stuck out to me, because it kind of seems like the accident, he mentions during that scene about the shadows and that the accident makes things a little bit fuzzy for him. And I guess if anything, like my question is what what was the accident, because that piqued my interest about him and what his story is. Don't need an answer, but that was just something that came to mind.
I want to know what happens to Mace. He's in the house.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
I know.
nothing-
I
no-
know.
no-
Oh my
no-
God.
The shadow spiral here.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah,
had-
because, yeah, he just.
He has a
left
panic
you.
attack in the
Yes.
house, and then no one hears from him ever again.
Can I ask something? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, so as far as Mason goes, I hear that, like, I do say at one point that it's a car accident that he was in with his brother and his brother didn't survive. It's not said super clearly. Was that a piece of information you sort of like longed for? Did that feel unfinished? Should I punch that up a bit more? And then also, as just the last thing you all said about what happened to Mason, I sort of feel that as well. It feels a little unfinished. And does that bear some more writing, or is that unfinished feeling sort of okay with you as an audience? Like, because I also feel like I could tie him up better, This is a first draft, so I can totally I want to make shifts and changes to make it as palatable as it possibly can be for the subject matter, but
As Mason.
oh, you really
I,
are. That was brilliant, by the way. You were great.
Thank you. I actually liked how just nobody knows, because you know what? They have more important things to worry about. And he's going on throughout the whole time about, how he's an adult and he can take care of himself. And I don't know. But I just like how I did like how they're just like, oh shit, Mason, but we gotta focus on this. So I kind of liked how that went. Although I don't have any recollection of ever the accident being spoken about, other than when Mason references it when he's talking about how his part of the brain that's all fuzzy is in a shadow. That's the only. I had no clue what the accident was. Although I inferred that
Okay.
his brother passing were related. That's the only thing I knew about it.
It is.
Okay.
Shadow line, but you do have to, I asked about it too, in a separate.
I think it takes like a very, very, very attentive, if this is being played in an audience, someone would have to be listening so carefully. So I think it probably can be heightened a little bit.
Yeah, and I did drop the lines that oh yeah. So I was like, oh, the thing that makes the most sense would be a car accident. His brother died and he hurt his head. So those things.
Yeah.
Stuff. But also.
Weren't you guys talking about it where she mentioned the accident?
Yeah, well, no, since the accident, is mentioned by Edward. Yeah, so those are the references. But I also, it's hard to because I'm not an audience member. I've been with the piece a lot longer, so I don't know what I would gain versus an audience member.
Jackie, did you have something?
Yes, I do. So I personally thought that Mason's unresolved at the end fit very nicely with the family's unresolved.
Okay.
I feel like if one was resolved and not the other, it would almost kind of feel like, well, why does his story get to be finished and the other one not? In regards to Mason's accident, I also made those choices for myself based on the information that I was getting with the brother having been dead. However, I think by not knowing much about the accident or having to ask those questions, it made Mason feel more insignificant than what I think he really is intending to be. So that's just food for thought. I'm not going to make that like a full on, yes, it should be this way or the other. But personally, for me, because the accident wasn't being specified, he seemed like a supporting character when come to find out, he actually played a major role in everything that happened, So yeah, that's my thoughts on Mason.
Great.
I concur with not having a bow on the ending for Mason and for the family. I think it's very fitting for everyone that these people that have gone through what they've gone through. There's so much uncertainty, in real life, there's so much uncertainty with what the result of something like this is. And for a lot of families, there's a very dissatisfying ending. So yeah, I like that there wasn't a complete ending for any of the characters.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
I also like how he is mentioned.
So it reminds everybody, oh shit, yeah, what did happen with Mason? That was nice. That was a nice touch.
I did think that it made sense, because I was thinking about it of like the two sisters asking the different questions of Edward. And it did make sense because of like how he asks when they're getting the flyers and Bee's like, oh, you're gonna go over there. She's kind of protective about Mason going over to Deb's and all of those things. So it made sense that she would ask. There's a part of me that was kind of like, even though she's in the midst of this dog crisis and Edward and what just happened with Lucy, I like felt like it feels like it gets brought up and then it's like, well, I don't know where he is. And then it like is let go. And I think that it could have not been let go as quickly by B. And it like, cause then it also plays on like Edward not taking care of things or like losing something and not caring about him. So I felt that was there, but not fully.
Yeah, that's a great note. It could be enhanced without being resolved. So yeah.
Any other specific questions that you want to ask yet, Lori?
Yeah, my big question. Well, first I just want to say I should have said this right away. Thank you so much to the actors. You did beautiful readings and that was just really lovely to get to hear that. So thanks. But yes, I did. My big concern is audience fatigue. A lot of what I write has, sort of more punchy dialogue and a lot of humor within it, even if it's not technically comedy, it's usually family drama. But this is like the least funny thing like I've ever written in terms of a stage play. There's the least sort of like just like people like back and forthing with each other, and it's just sort of it's more earnest. And so as it's going, I'm glad that the actors were able to lean into those lighter moments, and the audience was clearly hungry for them because we're ready for a laugh. And I know that even tragedies should be like 40% comedy just to survive them. This is definitely not. So I just wanted to know, like, as it's coming to a close and that like beautiful delivery of Lucy's monologue, which kind of takes, it's like a gut punch, and then there's the dog. And by that point, are you feeling just tired? Are you feeling like, how is the audience feeling at that point? Are you still wanting to go on this journey, or is it all getting to be a little too much? Because I have to think about proportion and how to sort of, I can reorder things or do things in a different way. I want it to be as effective as possible.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, I feel like it was kind of a good thing to have.
Okay.
Because like, I feel like the whole theme of the play is kind of like trauma and reliving trauma. And so like, none of the characters really have that sort of respite. So it kind of gives the audience a little bit of like fidelity toward like, yeah, we are also kind of not being able to rest. And like, we're also going through it with them. And like, it just, I feel like that kind of, enhances everything else that's going on.
Yeah, the pacing felt right to me because you had like the comedy and the like awkward interactions peppered in quite often at the beginning as like you're still like understanding, you're still in the exposition, like, okay, what exactly is going on? Like, what did Edward do? But then as all the pieces are coming together, the comedy dies down, but you're more like, it's more fast paced because you're like, oh, snap, so you don't need it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I felt like everything was really well balanced and everything sort of felt like it came to an emotional sort of crescendo by the end. So yeah, I thought it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great to know. Okay, thank you.
Cool. I have another question on my list, and it is, what did you want more of?
I said Mason.
I think, I think I wanted more of the crazy new mom.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't know, discover and just like the English or something kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wipe out the whole town and just tell everyone like what's happening. I don't know, maybe that's like season 2.
Oh, and then she said something, one of your lines, it said something about, you're writing a paper on trauma, how it's unfinished.
Mm.
I think ties
My
really well to what
dissertation.
you said about fucking everyone has drama and no one's getting over it, and that's her paper, that's what her paper about.
I have a question. I want to know, I mean, I know my interpretation of it, but is there a specific reason why Lucy and Eddie just completely keep me out of this? Like, do they know that she would react in the way that she does?
Yeah, it's interesting. It sort of unfolded this way as I wrote. I always knew that they had a secret, but I didn't know that they were going to keep it the whole play. And then it just sort of kept happening. I think as Beatrice came alive as a character that tended to want to uncover things and know in a good-natured way, but sort of she's got a very active mind, and she's very sort of plugged in and interested, and also has genuine concern for her family. But I feel that Lucy just lives by a different code. And I feel like Lucy is just like survive at all costs. And in her mind, she calculated that the less people that would know this, the better. And that includes her sister. And I think that Eddie is fragile and is just going to do whatever Lucy says in this situation, because he just doesn't. Someone said earlier, like, why I feel so guilty. And Lucy says this, like, we didn't do anything wrong, but they understand the optics of it still. They understand that there's always going to be people that are mad for you, the choices you've made, when those choices didn't benefit the people they loved. So it is just this complex, nuanced problem. And I think Lucy in her mind was just like, we need to keep this as close as possible. But yeah, it truly did just unravel that way as I wrote, and I started to learn their characters better.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's probably not the most satisfying answer, but yeah.
No, I have my own interpretation as far as like,
What was yours?
I don't know. I feel like she's kind of like a hard ass and doesn't like pick up on like when she's being rude or like, what's the word? Insensitive. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like what you said. I feel like, especially with Eddie, she doesn't know when to stop, because like you said, Eddie is fragile, and I think he kind of understands it, but like she doesn't. So like I thought they were like keeping me out of it because I would kind of like explode.
Yeah, I think that Beatrice just has a natural curiosity, and I think Lucy's a survivor and Beatrice is a dreamer and someone who's a little more exploratory about things. And I think that maybe having someone like that so close to you doesn't always benefit your survival. So.
Right.
Any other thoughts, things stick out, questions, what more of, oh, yes.
Mr. Riddell's, ooh. That's.
I had to wipe the tears away as I'm trying to get back on stage and be the happy little doofus.
I think
Yeah, that was really well delivered. Beautifully done.
Something I wanted more of. I'm gonna just keep talking about Mason. I feel like I wanted him to be more frustrated, because like after you have something like that and things just don't stick around like they used to, it is very frustrating as you're constantly living with your inability to do what you did when you were before, and it eats away at you. And it is mentioned when the three of them are talking outside the building and whatnot, but I don't know, it felt kind of just like passed by.
No, that's a great idea. I think we got a little of that, like with the counting of the paper, even though like it did read really funny in the end, which was a nice relief. But I think there could be more moments like that where things just aren't firing the way he intends, or however it is. I think you're right. There's a huge frustration when your body or your mind's not answering you when you're wanting it to do things. That's a really great note. And I think it could create a more like some natural conflict in his scenes too. I don't know if anybody got this or picked up on this, but sometime in the last like week, I started feeling like there might have like once been like, I don't know, like a really innocent crush between Beatrice and Mason that's now just like off the table or what. There's just like sweetness between them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And like, yeah, okay, I'm glad that comes across. I started writing extra stuff into that to send to y'all. And then I was just suddenly like, I don't want to make it over the top. I want to see if it comes across. So I took it out again. But I'm glad if it did resonate, because I think that I sort of really, I really want there to be that like sweetness of like what could have been in this as well. I like, for me, a lot of what I write is about like the things we avoid saying, and the way we talk around things, and then also just like our nostalgia about things or things that even never happened that we sort of wished had. So I really wanted that there for Beatrice. She's always, you know, she's even the only one that ever talks about like getting away. So yeah, I'm really glad if that played, because I think Mason and her have a really sweet relationship.
She's definitely protective over him. Like there's a soft
Mm.
spot with it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Any last questions, Lori, that you want to ask while we have the group together?
I can't think of one. I again just want to say how grateful I am for having the opportunity to hear this. It's really invaluable, especially this early in the process of writing something. Yeah, just really beautiful jobs. I might have follow-up questions if I can send them to you guys, but yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Email thread, feel free to send them over. Then we'll close it out. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Andrew, our technical director. Audience, thank you, Snacks. We do this is the theater upstairs that puts this all together, and it's not for profit, so it was run all purely by donations. If you like this kind of series, feel free to drop something in the little box up front. But it's been great to bring everybody together, playwright, actors, community. This is what we live for. So thank you all for joining us this Friday night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.